All right, so here's a homework question. I've got -4, y minus 4 less than or equal to 28, and 2 plus y less than 11. So the first step in Hawk says to solve the first inequality. So what I'm going to do is distribute this. Make sure you distribute that -4, not just the 4. And so we've got -4 times y is going to give me -4y. And then -4 times -4 is going to be positive 16, less than or equal to 28. Now I'm going to work on solving this, getting y by itself. So I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. And so I'll have this, divide by -4, divide by -4. Since I divided by a negative number, I need to flip that sign. And so I have y greater than or equal to -3. I'm going to graph it. And so I've got -3 over there. I've got a bracket because it is greater than or equal to, oops, sorry, wrong direction. I've got a bracket, and then I'm going to shade to the right, which gives me an interval of -3 to infinity, parenthesis. Okay, so there's the first one. Then step 2 says to solve the second inequality. So the good news is this one's a lot easier. Get y by itself, I'm going to -2 and get y is less than 9. I'm going to graph it and find interval notation. And so y less than 9 is going to be to the left, and it's a parenthesis because it's just less than. So my interval is going to be -infinity to 9 and close that parenthesis. So there are my step 1 and step 2. Step 3 says, using the answer above, solve the overall inequality, give an interval notation. So going back to my question says this inequality and this inequality. So what you're doing for and is you're looking for where do these two graphs overlap. Because for and, both things have to be true. And so I'm going to cut and paste this. So there's my first one. And then I'm going to cut this one. And we're going to actually lay these graphs on top of each other and see where they overlap. So 9 would be to the right of 3, -3, excuse me. So 9 would be, if I was on a number line, I couldn't put it over here because 9 comes to the right of -3. So I'm going to put that thing on the same number line. And now what I'm looking for is the interval where these two overlap. And so the interval where they overlap is right here in the middle. And so my interval for and, because it asks for and, is going to be -3 with a bracket to 9 with a parenthesis. And I'll have a comma between those because it said and. And then your graph. The graph for this would be a -3 shaded all the way to 9 with a parenthesis. You would just take that part where they overlap, and that would be the only thing you would have for your overall inequality graph.